Good morning. We're currently in South Westland, standing on the Haast Bridge. It's an absolute pearler of a day. The mountain forecast says there's going to be gale force winds up the top. We're going to helicopter in right up that direction, somewhere up the Landsborough River, secret spot X, and aiming for tar and chamois. I am expecting a bit of a stiff breeze, but I don't think it's going to be gale force winds. I bloody hope not, because otherwise we'll be stuck in Haast for a couple of days hunting deer. Could be worse places to be stuck, but we're hoping we'll get right up there, up on the tops, and it's going to be dry, light dusting of snow, and there's going to be animals left, right and centre. There's chamois everywhere. Lucky to meet Craig.
Hey guys.
This is Craig. He's going to be videoing as well. He's also got a YouTube channel, and he's going to teach me how to shoot long range. I'm such a shitty shot. After these next couple of days, I'll be nailing him out to 150 metres, hopefully. Craig just dropped his bloody camera battery off the bridge. See if we can drive down onto the riverbed and retrieve it. So we're going to put the Land Rover Prado?
Land Cruiser.
Land Cruiser. The Land Cruiser Prado is going to be put through its paces. First time out of the Fendrilton Hills. See how it goes. Had to throw that one in. Found battery.
Hey, the power usually on the road steeps up on this side.
Okay. Alright, we made it. We're up here. We saw about 13 chamois flying up. We didn't see any tar, but there was chamois running left, right and centre, so that was good. There's a mob of 5 just over the top of the hill here, so we're going to set up camp. We wanted to camp down by the forest so we could be next to trees for some wood for the log burner, but we don't have any wood. We didn't bring any coal with us, which may have been a mistake because there's no wood here, but we'll sacrifice the fire to be up right in the smack bang in the middle of the animals. I think it's going to be a pretty good trade-off. We've gone for a morning hunt when we got here because we saw a couple of chamois over the edge of the hill, but we didn't manage to find them. Buggered if I know where they've gone. They must have all run to the bush, and we're now lost. We kind of know where we are. We're right here, and our campsite's within 100 metres, but we can't actually find it because we didn't set up a tent before we left. It's either just over there or it's just over there. But good old smartphone is going to tell us where our campsite is. It's real Lord of the Rings shit up here. It's awesome. It's a big country. Been back to camp. We've had lunch, and we're about a kilometre up the ridge now, pushing over to where we saw a couple of mobs of chamois this morning. It pays to be fairly careful climbing these steep hills, because if you slip and fall, you can go a long way. Just give you an idea of how steep it is. If you can reach out and touch the hill, she's pretty steep. It's always hard to get the steepness on camera. You know, it's really hard to do it justice as to just how steep it is. But she's exciting.
Fire again.
I think he's down. Yeah, he's down.
I wounded him. Did I wound him?
He's down, bro. He's dead.
Shoot him?
Nah, he's dead. He's done. He's wobbling. He's done.
Sure, I can take him. One more. I don't know. I thought I hit him in the chest, but maybe it's the exit wound.
Nah, he's down, bro. Look at him. He's buggered. Yeah. There's chamois everywhere. Now that we've shot it, we've got the age-old problem of trying to get down to it. It's really steep. There's a chute down here, but it looks too steep and hard to get down, and we can't tell if there's a cliff right there. It kind of drops off. There's a chute up here. We might be able to go up and over and down, hopefully. It's good. Really makes you feel alive being up the mountains and risking a bit. Managing our risk pretty good though. Not going down anything too steep. So, chamois have 16 times binocular vision, so we've dropped down onto all fours and pretend. Come on, bro, you have to actually take a chunk out of it. There we go. We're just pretending to eat the grass to see if it relaxes and gets them back to feeding. It'll be interesting to see if this works. It hasn't on a couple of times previous. So. Well, one of them's eating again, and the other one is still looking at us. So it didn't work, but they're not running. They're just kind of hanging out there. And I think they've just shown us where another mob is because they've looked down the hill towards us. So I think there's another mob just over this next ridge, over where we shot the first one. So that's good. Go down and have a look-see. We were a little bit surprised when we got over here and realised it was just a juvenile.
It's prepubescent.
Prepubescent? But we're going to take the back stakes off it and take it, back legs off it and take it out. Both the shoulders are buggered, so.
Good on you. You got us on chamois in about 2 hours. Pretty nice.
So yeah, that was actually pretty good going. Day one, big mob of shabby. They've all buggered off now, so I don't know what we're going to do tomorrow. We might go the other way and see if we can find them down there. You can just see our tent in the background there, down beyond Craig.
Yeah, I see it down here.
In the middle of that plateau right there.
Nice.
Another glorious day in paradise, up on a mountain top. Now we slept in today. It was quite nice actually, sleeping in, and got up, whacked the coffee on. Craig eventually dragged himself out of bed. Yeah, it was good because we're up above the tree line and we don't have any fuel for our fireplace. We were going to camp right down on the tree line, but it turns out the animals are down this end of the ridge, not the other end. There's no trees down here, so if we had got up at the crack of dawn, we probably would have frozen our asses off eating breakfast. Just found some of these little snowberries just here. You'd be hard pressed to pick enough to live on, but they're not too bad tasting. Jam packed full of vitamin C, but not the tastiest berries in New Zealand. Halfway up the hill, and a bit of a snow shower, early March. Apparently, down the bottom of that ridge, there's a fairly decent wallow. So the helicopter pilot tells me. Well, we got to the top of the first ridge and weather's starting to close in just a little bit. I'm not expecting too much, just a few snow flurries, but it's definitely pretty chilly. And I'm just going to have a look over the edge here to see if we can see some tar. Pretty good country for them, right on the other side there where it's steep. But the key to chamois hunting is to gain elevation. If you can get up above them, they generally won't see you and you can move around and get yourself into a position to shoot them. But if you're at the same elevation or lower, they'll see that movement straight away. Chamois have 16 times binocular vision, so they've got pretty amazing eyesight and they're always on the lookout downhill for danger. So if you can get up above them, softly, softly, cashy monkey. We've been cruising along the ridgeline here and we've just seen 2 or 3 chamois just over the edge sitting down in the sun. One of them looks like it's okay, so we can't really tell. We're just going to go down. Craig's going to have a look at it and see what he thinks, see if it's any good. Sweet, so it looks like we're good to go. Just wait, bro, just relax. shot.
Got it.
Yep. So we just came down onto these other two over there. We're going to get the one that we shot. And what just happened, bro?
200-yard kneeling shot on a hopefully beautiful looking chamois, third today.
Craig managed to poleaxe it at about 200 metres with a kneeling shot. We're going to go over and get that one and then come back, harvest this one, get all the meat, and then I guess we'll just slowly mosey back to camp. We just spotted these chamois sitting down. Craig's currently standing up next to me, waving and dancing, jumping around.
Run! Run!
And they're just,
Blah!
there
Run!
we go.
Run!
Give them a couple of warning whistles up, they're still just sitting there. We've just seen another mob of chamois. How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, at least 4, 5, maybe 6, just over the other side of the valley there. I left my bloody big lens in my pack over by that animal. Buggers, we can't show you them on camera. They're right there, you can see them. Beauty. We just scored ourselves some pretty good meat here. Got a bunch of back steaks to add to the ones at camp. Got all the back legs and the sinew and some stew meat and the shoulders, so it's going to be fairly heavy to pack out. I'm pretty sure I'll be able to handle the jandal. Meanwhile, the other chamois are just calmly sitting there. But this is probably going to be a pretty good place to come back to in the chamois rut, because there's heaps of nannies here. So if anyone out there wants to come to chamois spot X, all you've got to do is pay me heaps of money and I'll bring you up here. Oh, we're halfway home. We've managed to come. See that big scree slope in the distance? We're just that side of that scree slope when we were last on film, and we've come up to the top of Mount Maringa, and we're just about to push over the other side down to camp. It's been a bloody good day. I don't drink a lot of beer, but days like today, when it's been pretty hard earned, I don't mind a beer or two. Cheers, Craig.
Cheers. Success.
Cheers to beers. This is a life. And so the sun sets on another day in paradise. It's been a great hunt. Thanks for coming, Craig. Thanks for supporting my lavish lifestyle. I really appreciate it, mate. It's awesome. And, we managed to bag a couple of chamois. Nothing of outrageous proportions as far as the horns go. And the coats were molting, which was a bit of a bugger, so we couldn't take the coats. But we got plenty of meat for Craig to take home, whack in his freezer. And a couple of good representative nannies. The only bucks we saw were very juvenile, and we did see one mature buck barreling down the hill after the first barrage of shots, which was a bit of a bugger. He got away on us. His guns out. The helicopter's due at 10 o'clock in the morning, so hopefully the wind dies down in the morning and the chopper can come and whisk us out and go shoot a deer. We've got a very limited supply of firewood, so we're going to burn our space box and maybe warm up, have another beer, a whiskey or two, and then hit the sack. It's 9 o'clock in the morning, and our dear friend Greg's decided to show up an hour early, which happens occasionally with the old helicopters. Another good couple of days on the hill. Greg's just buggered off back to the hangar, so I think he missed out on his morning cup of coffee, much the same as we did, strangely enough. So we're going to meet him down at the hangar and grab all our shit there. That was close, mate. We almost had cereal and yogurt for breakfast. The helicopter saved us from a healthy breakfast, and we're now eating pies and bloody soft drinks. Pie and a ginger beer. Breakfast of champions. That's a lagoon. That's what Ross looks like at night, or the Totra Lagoon at night. This is a canoe. It's my mate Court's canoe. It's an absolute pearler, brand new condition. So we're going to go and hopefully get a couple of flounder. Beauty. One in the bucket. Yep, smack her in. Sweet. Whack them in. Oh, here's a good one, that one. You end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6.
Looks like it.
Not a bad effort, eh, old chap?
Yep. Yep, that was a lot of fun.
This is our last day of the hunt, so to speak, and we're just on the back of a mate of mine's farm, old Rusty. Rusty, if you're watching this, thanks for letting me shoot on your land, mate. Really appreciate it. It's not actually on it; it's public land. But we're gonna cruise up and have a look at a wallow up there that I know of in a little clearing, and then we'll do a wee bit of deer tracking, and I'll show you guys how to track deer from their wallow to their bedding place, or bedding place to their wallow, or just general tracking. We're just going to go for a walk in the bush, and I'm going to point at a few tracks and let you know a few things about tracks and what you can tell from the animal by looking at its tracks. Beauty. Alright, so we're at the bottom wallow now, and it's a bit dry, so it's more of a hangout area than a wallow, but no signs of any big animals, just all yearlings. As you can see, there's plenty of prints here, but they're all very small prints. There is one set of prints here that I'll just show you. It's they're splayed prints. This generally means the animal's carrying a lot of weight forward, but because this is soft sand and there's only one print, I'm thinking that it's just because it was coming to a stop, and that's why the prints are splayed. So here are the splayed prints right here. Once again, they're only a very small set of prints, so that tells me that the animal was probably just coming to a stop, maybe playing with a few other animals. That's the only reason they're splayed. Now if we could track this animal across some sand for a short distance until we saw when he was just walking, then we'd be able to get a better idea of how heavy the animal is. But we'll keep going, we'll follow these tracks where they go up the hill and see where they lead. What I'm doing now, I'm just following the tracks that are coming in and off this clearing. They look like they're all headed to the corner of this clearing, so I'm just going to follow where they go and see if I can start the trail and head on up the hill, and chances are I'll come to another wallow. We started tracking them up this hill. I've come off trail a bit, lost the deer trail, so we're just going to kind of head on up the hill and skirt our way around until we pick it up again, because somewhere up here they'll be travelling up and down this ridge line, so we'll just keep skirting around the hill till we pick up that deer trail again. Actually, I think I may have found it right in front of me. I'm still on it. Just went a bit faint there for a while. Okay, so this is an old deer trail, not a fresh one, but it will intersect with the other deer trail eventually, I'd expect. So we're just going to follow this up the hill. Here's a tree that's been rubbed on last year. Another one just in front of me, so that tells me we're probably getting close to a wallow, because there's quite a bit of old brow sign here where they've eaten the tops of these kiwi plants. Nothing fresh, so I'm not sure if that wallow is going to be being used at the moment, but we'll push up onto this ridge a bit more and see what we can see. Okay, we've just come across some fresh sign here. Just small prints, probably from a yearling. It looks like those yearlings down in the clearing have been bedding up here somewhere.
they've been coming up this other ridge in front of us, not the one we've come up behind us. But once again, there's no fresh browse marks on these gear. There's a bunch of old stuff, but that's probably just from the springtime. So we're on a pretty good deer trail now, right on the ridge. I expect there'll be a wallow around here somewhere. And what we're going to look for now is bits of mud on ferns, and here's a bit right here. So that tells me there's a wallow pretty close by. And the mud on this fern's been splattered this way, so that tells me the animals come from that direction. So the wallow's just up here. The wind's blowing across at the moment. We've got not a bad lane of sight, so we're just going to let out a little moan on the roaring horn and wait here for 10 minutes and see what happens. Now that we've done that, we'll just wait and see if any animals move on in. Lots of anticipation involved in this stag hunting business. Never know, one could be sneaking in to check us out right now, or they may not even be one in the area. I haven't seen any fresh rubbing, so it's possible the stags aren't here yet, but something's using those wallows. I suspect it's a yearling, because the mud's only on the very low down plants. There's no mud on a whole bunch of big plants, and there's not a whole heap of mud. Usually if the stag's been wallowing, there'll just be mud and shit everywhere. What do you reckon?
Big stag.
So we found the wallow. It doesn't look like there's been a stag wallowing here, but it's definitely pretty well used. So the hinds are wallowing and the stags can't be far off. The stags are probably still wandering around. March is the month of the wandering stag. But we're going to have a look at some of these prints and see what we can tell just by looking at these prints in this wallow. There's clumps of fresh mud right here that are still very wet, and it's been quite windy, so that means he's been in here this morning and he's been wallowing. But the prints are very small. There's a couple of animals around here. A couple of very small animals, probably fawns, and a couple of hinds, and maybe a spiker. The prints are pretty small, as you can see. There's a couple of decent sized prints in here, but nothing really outrageous, and I can't see any dew claws, which tells me that it's probably just hinds wallowing. Because of this grass, I suspect there may be a spiker as well. It is possible that this grass got tangled up in deer's hooves as they came in, but I doubt it. I'd say that's probably from a stag's antlers that he's been thrashing around, and it's come off in the wallow here. Just have a look around for a trail camera. Can't see any, so can't see any boot prints. I don't think anyone else has been up here. So I'm going to mark this wallow on my GPS and then come back here in the raw and give it a nudge. But we just let out a couple of roars back then, and we're just going to wait. Not for your aggressive roars, just a couple of moans. We've been here for about 10 minutes now and let out a couple of moans and nothing's come in. It's possible that a stag's still sneaking in on us, but I don't think so. I think it's just hinds wallowing at the moment. And if we look around at the trees around the edge, we can kind of get an idea of what the stag that was using this wallow last year is like. And you can see here there's some small trees in front of a bigger tree, and only the small trees have been rubbed. The bigger tree behind it hasn't been touched. And if we look around at all the other trees that have been rubbed over previous years, they're all very small. That one's very small. There's some small remu saplings that have been rubbed a couple of years ago. And over on this tree here, there's only been a couple of gouges taken out of this, and they're only very small and very low down on the tree, whereas this has been a big animal. I'd expect this whole sapling to be snapped, broken over, and then this other tree here where he's been rubbing the small tree, I'd expect the big tree to have some pretty decent gouges out of it. But none of the bigger trees around here have got any big gouges out of it. They're all small trees. So I reckon the stag that's holding in this area is just a juvenile stag, and he's very small. So we're just on the very bottom of quite a large ridgeline. If I was going to get the big boy, I'd keep on pushing up this ridgeline, stay on the deer trails, and just head higher up and boldly go where no man has gone before, because that's how you get the big fellas. Anyway, we're going to head on back down now, have a cup of tea, and Craig's going to go back to the east coast, back to work, and I'm going to sit at the desk and start answering these bloody emails. Wild Foods Fest this weekend, Saturday. I'll see you there. Hoka tika. Well, Craig's just found some shit. I actually stood on it, didn't even see it. Old sniffer hound here pointed it out, and I'm just going to show it to you anyway. It's squashed now, but it was really clumpy and all clumped together. So if the shit's all clumped together, that's a pretty good sign it's stag shit. It wasn't super large stag shit, probably a clump of about that big. So out of a half decent sized stag, so I suspect that is a spiker that's up here using the swallow, just a young spiker. No weight in him at all because his dew claws weren't really showing in the soft mud, only the front of his feet, hooves, his cloven hooves. If it's a heavy animal, their dew claw will come out and the back hoof prints on every step in the soft stuff anyway, because that weight's pushing them deep and that dew claw's pushing deep as well. So just a young animal, spiker, but a stag nonetheless. So goodness knows where he is. He's probably down the ridge downwind of us. That's why he didn't sneak in, so we didn't hear him coming. Would have been a good day to have the dog. We probably would have got that deer today if we'd had the dog, but alas, the dog's at home with puppies that are for sale. So if anyone out there wants a good deer dog, drop me a line. We've got a couple left. Bargain, $1,000 each, worth their weight in gold. We've just found our first gouged up tree from last year. It's not very big. The gouges don't run very deep and they're not very high. Once again, just a small stag in this area. So I probably won't bother coming back here in the raw, I don't think. Go somewhere else where there's a big fella. No stags. There you have it though. We found a wallow. 2 wallows, one not being used, one being used. And we've got a fairly good idea of what the stag is like that's using that wallow, or that was using that wallow last year. I don't think I'll come back here in the raw, but it's always a good place to send a beginner hunter, one of my mates. Probably going to get a barrage of emails now asking me for the GPS coordinates. I actually may have some GPS coordinates for sale if you ask nicely. For a fee, I might sell a few wallows. Probably not. Yeah, nah. But yeah. So yeah, that was a pretty choice mission in the bush. But, like I said, cup of tea time. Time to do some office work.